Good evening, Man's League. My name is Tyler Graff, and I'm here to talk with you about what it means to be a man. First of all, you need to enjoy a nice single malt whiskey forged in the hearth of the soul of your next victim. That's right, Trevor. My single malt whiskey was forged in the hills of Duluth, and I'm literally going to drink your soul. Tastes like cheese. Secondly, what it means to be a man is to clean your shotguns half naked at the table in your wife's robe draped over American flag with an oil-soaked rag. You might ask me, what's it like to create history? And if you're referring to my high score from last week, that's one piece of history. But Tom Brady doesn't sit around talking about all the games he threw for 400 yards. I tell you what Tom Brady does. He thinks about how he's going to get that next ring. Because in the end, gentlemen, that's all that people remember. Nobody remembers a high score. But because I have to fulfill some duties required, we're going to review the scores from last week. Before we get going, we probably should start talking about who the top players of last week are. And thanks to our wonderful commissioner, he has that beautifully laid out for me on a silly device I like to call Twitter. So this is what was tweeted earlier today. For high score of the week, yours truly, Tyler Graff, had a staggering 204 points as I devoured my opponent last week. MVP goes to CJ Anderson, to the new guy whose name I don't even know and doesn't even matter because he'll be at the bottom of the pile by the end of the year. Player of the week goes to yours truly, battle-tested, my boy Tom Brady. Honorable mention for the week goes to Kareem Hunt, to Prue. And last but not least, double stacking for Defensive Player of the Week goes to yours truly again, Bobby Wagner. Gentlemen, we're going to now review the scores from last week. We'll save the best for last. First off, we have the matchup between Prue, the Purple Punishers, and Mark Olson, the Rough Riders. This was a close match, gentlemen. Mark barely lost to Prue by a score of 123.1 to Prue's 123.6. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, gentlemen. In fantasy football, it's all about the points. The next matchup we have is the law firm, Caleb Arfston, against the new guy. I can't even read his name and it doesn't matter. I think it's John. John beating Caleb with a 144.6 score to 141.2. Caleb, way to let us down. Next matchup we have is Leo's Army. Again, I keep typing in Leo. Microsoft Word changes it to Suka. Spell check. It's a bitch. Leo's Army defeats Cody Overcash, your Unlucky Demons, 128.1 to 111. Cody, how dare you let the Russians invade? The next matchup is we have John Peterson, a.k.a. Tinder, a.k.a. Sexy, a.k.a. everybody that we all want to be, defeats Trevor, the Big Cheese, my next victim, 123.8 to 101.1. And last but not least, gentlemen, I'd like to talk to you about my game where I absolutely annihilated the opponent. Tom Brady, after a rough week one, bounced back and showed the NFL why he still is number one and will be bringing home a ring for the 2017 season. With that, the Immortals, Tyler Graff, yours truly, absolutely and definitively annihilate the Rocketeer, Zach Overcash, 204.8. Yes, you heard that right. 204.8 to 134.3. An absolute annihilation. Although I'm proud of my high score, gentlemen, as I said earlier, at the end of the day, the only one thing people remember are these. Super Bowl rings, gentlemen. Super Bowl rings. If you don't have one, you won't be written down in history. Now, while I hope you all are at home cleaning your guns at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night, I'll leave you with this. Being a man in the Man's League is an honor. And to be a man in the Man's League, you need to be victorious. To be a man in America, you need to drink single malt whiskey forged in the hills of your enemies. Good night, gentlemen.